So this is another weekly analysis on XAUUSD to help us understand the levels price could react to, okay? The levels price could respect or probably we have a breakout. So now this is on XAUUSD on the weekly time frame. Now from the weekly time frame, we're going to progress to the lower time frames, okay? Now what I can see on my screen is a break of structure. We're going to be swift about this, okay? Last week, this same area, gold, we were expecting gold to react to this area, but then it didn't get to this other block we mapped out. We have this breaker structure here and this other block, but price did not get to this point. So, but overall trend for gold, XAUUSD is bullish. And then we'll be expecting price, anytime price reacts to this area on the weekly time frame, we should see some kind of reaction as well, okay? So this is what we have on the weekly time frame for gold. You can see it massively pushing up from here. It's already pushing up from here. So we see how it goes, if it's going to retrace back or not. So then we proceed to the daily time frame to see how swift we can make this. Now this is the daily time frame. This area and zone we've marked out. All we can do right now is to refine it a bit more to the level we're expecting price to react to. So while we have this for the weekly time frame, all right, and while we have this for the breaker structure still very much valid, we have to consider the relevant areas on the daily time frame. So the question now becomes, what are we seeing on our screen? Now there's a tiny breaker structure to the upside here, a very tiny breaker structure here. And what we should be doing right now is looking at the possible areas price is reacting from. So price is currently reacting from this area. From this area, we have this breaker structure. We have an order block resting here, and price is currently reacting from the area. And as a matter of fact, price did not just tap into the order block. It broke through it. It broke through it a bit. It broke through it a bit. So just need to refine it a bit more. So we have an accurate level. So this is the area price is currently reacting to on XAUUSD. So we can see our breaker structure to the upside. You can see our breaker structure here. We can also see the order block mapped out here. So price is currently reacting to it. So we'll just extend it a bit more for clarity purpose. So we head over to the 4-hour time frame and then we get to understand better. So we scale over to the 4-hour time frame, like I said, to see what we have there. Now you can see this area I marked out on the daily time frame. You can see how relevant it is. Price is actually reacting on that area. So what we can do at this point in time is to consider the most relevant areas on the 4-hour time frame. Guys, the relevant areas we need to work with, where we see price reacting to or price tracing back to it almost immediately, is the area we consider relevant. So now, first and foremost, we have to adjust this to suit the daily time frame, and then we can, look at what we have currently, the relevant zones or areas we have currently. So what we can see currently on our chart is that there's a breaker structure over here and an overall breaker structure on the 4-hour time frame. You can see these guys. This is the breaker structure currently, overall breaker structure on the 4-hour time frame. So we have an order block that has formed out already. So we get to see if price is going to react to the order block or not. So this is order block we have to look at. Okay, so we mark it out. It's very, very valid because above it we have the breaker structure and around it we have the inefficiency, otherwise referred to as fair value gap. So we just align it with the relevant area. So what do we have here? Let's see. Okay, now don't forget that over here we experience a kind of breaker structure like change of character from here. Price reacted to the top and it couldn't continue, so price gave us this change of character over here, but then we see price reacting to that level. You can see that price is reacting to this level over here. I'm talking about this area. Let me show you guys. Price or kind of give us break of structure here and a change of character, but price couldn't continue going bearish. Although we have another breaker structure to the downside here, but over here, price has also broken structure, which gives us indication that price is heading back up bullish. So, but then we can mark out this area. We can mark out this area as a breaker structure to the downside. Okay, but the question is, do we see price reacting anytime soon to this level? So we get to understand that as the market keeps or price keeps playing out. Now over here, we have this breaker structure. We have this order block resting at the top. So we have to mark it at the relevant area. So guys, please pay attention. This is very important. Now, we have this breaker structure like I marked out. And what caused this breaker structure was as a result of this push to the downside. So as a result of the push, it gave us an order block here, being the kind of entry model that I use more, order block. But then we have an inefficiency around it, making it very valid, the order block very valid. Now the point is, now we have a breaker structure to the downside here. So should price get to this point, we'll be expecting a reaction. The reaction is going to be like price respecting this order block, tapping on into this order block and pushing to the downside, or breaking through this order block and keep pushing to the upside. So we get to see what happens. So two things involved. Is price going to respect the buy side order block, which is this one? Is price going to respect the buy side order block or the sell side order block? The buy side order block by retracing back, tapping to the order block and keep pushing to the upside, and then we can have a buy from here by scaling down to the lower time frame. Or is price going to respect this order block, this sell side order block? So we see how that plays out this week. Now we scale over to the 1 hour time frame, and don't forget guys, this is happening on XAUUSD and gold. Okay, so scaling over to the 1 hour time frame, what do we have? Don't forget the relevant areas are the areas we are working with. Now this area is still very much relevant, and this area I've marked out is still very much relevant. So what do we do at this point? We refine the areas we have this breaker structure. Right, we refine the area, map out the relevant areas properly. This is happening, don't forget, on the 1 hour time frame. So this is our breaker structure to the upside. Okay, so this is where price has broken structure to the upside, and then we have our order block resting here. This order block is very much valid, guys, you can see. So this is the area we're expecting price to react to. So the question now is, throughout this week, is price in any way going to retrace back to this order block and trigger any pending order there? So we see how it plays out this week. But don't forget, price is very much bullish on XAUUSD. And these are point of interest that the banks, the hedges, and the big boys might be looking out for this week. So you joining them and taking your trades from there would probably help you to push up, scale up, and make some good profit as a retail trader that you are. So let's scale over to the 30 minutes time frame on XAUUSD. Don't forget, guys. So we see if the area is still very much relevant, if price is going to react to the area. Yes, our breaker structure on the 30 minutes time frame is still very much valid. But then, why we have these other blocks still very much valid, guys? There's another breaker structure to the upside that price might be looking forward to or towards breaking this new week. So there's a little breaker structure here, and we have we don't have any other block at that area at that point at the moment. So it's more like a support zone, and price can as well react to it. This is happening on the 15 minutes time frame. So there's a breaker structure here, right? But not so relevant, not so visible. But then I can see another tiny one on the top, but we only see that properly on the 15 minutes time frame. So we know if price is going to react to it or not. It's a very tiny one, but we'll get to see it more on the 15 minutes time frame. So let's get down to the 15 minutes time frame and see if there's any possible entry. Now this on the 30 minutes time frame, this area, let's refine this area a bit more. While we expect price retracing back to the zone, we just have to keep it by the corner, and let's look for possible relevant areas on the 15 minutes time frame. Yes, on this point, on this part, we have a break of structure to the upside here, a break of structure on the 15 minutes time frame, guys. So what we're going to do right now is see if price is going to react to the area. Over here, we also have an inefficiency and a break of structure around that area. So we see if price is going to retrace back to this area. Let's just mark it out and see what happens when price gets to this area. So we have to we have to be vigilant and probably set an alert to see what happens when price reacts to this area. So at this point in time, we can't do anything on XAUUSD, but we'll only just expect to see what happens. So if price is going to react, then we expect it to push all the way from top here down to this other block and react around it. But don't forget, price reacting around this area, we have to also look at this area. Okay, you can see this is the support area, so price might sweep all the way from this other block down into this support zone before pushing to the upside. So we see what plays out on XAUUSD this week. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, and turn on the post notification. So while this is on XAUUSD, let's proceed to GBPJPY to see what could possibly play out in this new week, to see if we have an entry or we just keep waiting patiently for price to react to those areas. So let's push over to the weekly time frame on GBPJPY. So this is the weekly time frame on GBPJPY. So we just have to adjust all levels properly. Okay, so we remove this zone, this mark out. Let me just clear up my chart a bit. So these are the areas we marked out throughout last week, but this new week we expect to see something. So now the overall trend of GBPJPY is bullish. Okay, you can see this area. Let me clean my chart more. You can see we have a break of structure to the upside around this area, and even to this area, price is very much bullish. But then price getting to this point, it gave us a break of structure to the downside, right? More like a change of character. But then leaving us with an order block at the upside. So the relevant areas are the areas I want us to treat. So looking at this area, we have a break of structure to the upside. Okay. So we also have a break of structure around the zone. Okay, you can see this break of structure line here. So this is an indication that price has been bullish, okay, on GBPJPY. But then we have a kind of change of character over here, a break of structure and the change of character around this zone. Price started going bearish, immediately pushed up to the top. So as price started going bearish, it gave us an order block resting at the top, which we're going to mark out right now. So there's an order block resting at the top here, which price already tapped into. Guys, price already tapped into it. And what we should be expecting next is to see the overall reaction throughout this week on the weekly time frame on GBPJPY. So if price is going to keep going to the upside, it's going to break this zone and this level, else it's going to push to the downside and give us a continuation trend to the downside on the weekly time frame. So let's proceed to the daily time frame and see what we have on GBPJPY. This is on the daily time frame. So let's see what happens on the daily time frame. So this area we've marked out, we just have to refine it in a way. We just need to refine it, okay? And we can concentrate on the daily time frame to see what price is currently doing. So on the daily time frame, we have this break of structure still very much relevant. So we just have to extend it a bit more to the relevant area we're looking at. So this is the relevant area we want to take a look at. So price is currently reacting on this zone. So let's mark out the order block that we find here. This order block is very much relevant because we have a break of structure to the upside and we have an inefficiency resting around there. But then price retraced back from what we can see on our screen. Price retraced back immediately, the market opened up. That was last week. not this particular week. So price retraced back to this inefficiency resting around the zone. Price did not tap into the order block, but then price respected it. So we see what happens this week. So currently GBPJPY is bullish and price is currently pushing to the upside. So I see price getting to the top and then maybe probably breaking this high. But then let's scale over to the daily time frame, to the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, and see what we have. So very, very important to note that this is the relevant area we're looking at price reacting to. So price, like I said, on the daily time frame, retraced back, but it didn't tap into this order block. You can see this area I marked out. I did that on the 4 hour time frame. It's still very much relevant. The order block is still very, very much relevant. But then price respected the fair value gap other than the order block. But then it's not the end of it all. I discovered that whenever price reacts from the fair value gap, it oftentimes retraces back and come back to the order block to tap on it before dishing out a massive push to the upside. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, what are we possibly seeing? Okay, we can say that price is bearish. Price is bearish. This, you can see this break of structure to the downside. We can see another break of structure to the downside. So we have an order block resting here, right? So price might actually, after mitigating this order block at the upside, might just tap into it and retrace back to the downside. So let me just mark the area out. So price gave us a break of structure to the downside around the zone. And over here, we have a break of structure to the upside, to the downside here. So we just have to extend it to the relevant area. So we have a break of structure over here and an order block resting there. So I see price tapping into this order block. But then let's clear our chart a bit more. I see price tapping into that order block. But then we have another order block at this area, which price has broken. Price has broken this order block already. Okay, it's just at the zone. I see possible push to the upside to this order block here. But then, what happens next when price get to this order block? Do you feel we're gonna have a breakout? What do you guys think? Do you think we're gonna have a breakout to the upside, or price respecting this key level and retracing back to the downs to this swing low that we have here? What do you guys think? Comment in the comment section. But for me, I see price tapping into this order block and respecting it. I see price respecting it, and price keeps going bearish after respecting that level. That is what I see. But then let's scale over to the 1 hour time frame to see what we have there. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, let's map out this order block. It's becoming very much relevant. Let's mark out the order block that we have here. So let's see if price is going to respect this order block that we're seeing currently have here. Price is already at this zone on the 1 hour time frame. So if price is going to push further to the upside, respecting the order block from the 4 hour time frame, we'll find out. But currently, price is reacting to the order block on the 1 hour time frame. This is where I'm talking about, this order block on the 1 hour time frame. We have a breaker structure already, and we have an origin, which is this order block that dished out the massive push to the downside, giving us this breaker structure. So we'll have to mark out this breaker structure. From here, we have a breaker structure to the downside, a very relevant one for that matter. And this order block we have, this breaker structure we have here, is on the 1 hour time frame. So we just work with the relevant area and refine it a bit more. So this is more like the overall breaker structure to the downside from the 4 hour time frame. But it's very, very much important to mark this one out. But this is happening currently on the 1 hour time frame. So what should we be expecting? I see price pushing further to the upside. Like I said, on the 4-hour time frame, I don't see price respecting this other block. I see it respecting this one on the 4-hour time frame. But we'll see how that happens. We see what works before this week closes. So let's push over to the 30 minutes time frame to see what we currently have. So at this point in time, our order block on the 1-hour time frame is where price is currently at. Just like I said, I see price pushing to the upside, breaking through the order block and getting to the order block on the 4-hour time frame. So it's a massive push to the upside. Currently, it's a massive push to the upside. So this week we have GBPJPY currently pushing massively to the upside. So what we are trying to do is see if price is going to respect the key levels, the smart money key levels we have successfully marked out. So currently on the 30 minutes time frame, price is still very much bullish. And if you decide to join the trend, you should be waiting for a possible push back, a possible retracement, and you can join the trend and see if you can get some profit out of the market. So being that price is bullish on the 30 minutes time frame, on the 1-hour time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, we just see the possible areas we can mark out. There's a break of structure to the upside here since price is bullish, so we have to follow the trend. Now we have an order block resting here. After this break of structure, we have an order block resting here on the 30 minutes time frame. Okay, so we refine it a bit more. So this is the area we have an order block. So should you want to join this push to the upside, you only just need to be patient enough to see price retrace back into this order block where we have this break of structure, and then you can join the trend from this order block. Now on this area, I can only see a kind of support zone, all right, that price is pushing forward from, but then we can't do anything currently. So you joining the trade from here, from this support zone, you can see that the candlestick is already pushing to the upside. So you just need to be patient a bit more and not FOMO into this trade. So then we push over to the 15 minutes time frame to see any possible point of entry. Okay, so let's refine this area, this level we marked out, this key level. Let's refine it. We'll just push it to the zone, to the relevant area. And then on the 15 minutes time frame, what we could possibly see and what I'm seeing on my chart is price, that price has already reacted to this zone, this support level. And over here, we have a little break of structure and an order block resting here. Okay, there's a little break of structure to the upside here. And there is another break of structure to the upside here. This is happening on the 15 minutes time frame, guys. So what we should be looking out for currently, which I am comfortable with, is before we take any trade here, we just need to make sure price reverse back to these zones that we just marked out. Now there's another order block resting here on the 15 minutes time frame. So we can't do anything currently on GBPJPY. We just have to stay cool and be patient to see price come back to one of these two areas, okay? To see if price is going to react and come back to one of these two areas. And I mean, there's an order block here, there's an order block here. We have a break of structure to the upside here, we have a break of structure to the upside here. So both order blocks are very much valid and unmitigated. So we have to be calm, nothing to do right now on GBPJPY. It's so bullish at the moment. So we can only have a trade if price reverses back to one of these two order blocks. Okay, so this is what we have this week on GBPJPY and on XAUUSD. So we stay calm. There is no entry at the moment. Just keep watching our chart on the London session. All right, this is the London session right now. Okay, so take care of yourselves. I'll be showing you guys more videos to see if we have an entry anytime soon. If price is going to respect these key levels, I'll be updating you guys. And if we're going to have an entry, we'll also take the trades together. So for now, take care of yourselves and see you again in my next video. Bye for now.